And we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Ideal Education Wednesday workshop. Where today Monica, am here as our senior onboard specialist, and I have a guest speaker. Trevor, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name's Trevor. I'm a client success educator on IdealTraits. I've been here for about 10 months, and I'm ready to help educate you today.
Excellent. Yes. So today we are going to be going over why utilizing your career page is so important with your ideal trait system, as well as being able to conduct market research to understand what is going on in your market. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started on your career page. So, number one, Trevor, where can people find their career page?
So you can find it from two different spots. You can find it from the Jobs tab right next to the search bar. There's a button that will say Career Page. You click on that. You can view it, edit it, navigate there, or directly from the settings in the hiring settings.
Yes. And then the thing to note as well is that if you do access it from your jobs tab, you can also easily select to be able to view that. You can select to edit it. You can select to copy your URL, as well as being able to copy your own QR code too. So this way, if you do want to share it to any sort of marketing materials, right? This way, let's say if you're going out to eat, right? You run into someone that has an amazing an amazing personality and you just want to at least give them an interview, right? You could easily have that QR code printed onto, let's say, a business card like such. You print it out right here, or a little sticker, add it on there, you give that to them. They can easily then take their phone, which they probably will have in hand, if not very close nearby, and they can easily scan that and they'll be easily directed to apply to your agency, where they can even upload their resume as well as taking that assessment as well. But let's say, Trevor, your career page is maybe out to date. How would you go about editing that?
Yeah, so I would just go to the Jobs tab, click the View button, then click Edit, and then the first thing I'm going to start with is I'm going to change the banner image. Get a little customization in there. Make it my
Yeah.
own. I want to have a little bit of personality. There's a couple that you can pre-select from. They're a bit more corporate, perhaps, but if you want to go with that route, it's more power to you. Or you can upload a picture of you and your team all smiling, having fun, and
Right.
then after that, you can do a little other customizations, change the colors here and there, kind of just make it, fun if you want. But then the big thing is, just the description, just tell them about yourself, tell them about your company culture, fun stuff like that.
Definitely. I think that a really big part to note with this is to understand that candidates can essentially go here directly if you're sharing it to social media, if you are sharing it to your website, if you're sharing it really anywhere, right? We want to make sure that this content is really up to date. So Trevor did mention about being able to share kind of the graphics or change around the graphics in it to really fit your agency. But yes, that company description is really going to give them an idea of your company culture, right? Are you guys more laid back? Are you guys more interactive with everyone? Are you more outgoing and just super involved in the community? No matter what it is or what about you is unique in that aspect of your culture, we want to be able to see that inside of this job description. So, this way that they can fully understand that. Now, once that is all updated, like we mentioned, you can then share that. If you're on the hiring stage, like under the hiring settings, and if you're sharing it that way, you could still easily copy that URL as well as download that QR code to share to social media. If you want to go on LinkedIn and reach out to candidates that might be fitting your search requirements, right? You could easily send them over to that link as well. Just let them know, maybe send a quick message saying, hey, I saw that you have a license in this area or that you have customer service experience in this area. I would love to set up an interview with you as their agency is hiring, and then just easily send that link in another message and good to go. You've reached out to a unique candidate, right? As well as if your office has any referrals. This is going to be huge because of the fact that you never know when someone inside of your internal team might run into someone that does have that unique personality. I mean, I personally just went and got coffee the other day, and this person had the most generous customer service I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, girl, you could be working from home remotely. If you do need a job or if you're ever looking, I mean, please feel free to apply here. I don't know if we have any openings right now, but we could at least, possibly set up an interview, right? So, again, just from networking that way, you never know when you might run into that person that does have that unique aspect that you're looking for.
Yeah, and
So,
I wouldn't stop there. You have that QR code. I would print that off. I would make flyers, put them around town, staple them to light
yeah,
poles, put them right outside your office window. You could put, scan for open, things. Say you're an insurance place. Let them know. Like, it's a game, so you gotta play it.
definitely. And what I will say is that the cool thing about your career page is that this will only show any active job ads that you do have. So let's say that you are hiring for sales, service, and maybe an office manager, right? Your career page will show all three of those active positions on there instead of only sharing the QR or the URL for maybe one job ad, right? This will show all three. And let's say if you do hire for that sales manager position, your and then you archive that job ad from your ideal traits account. What it will do is it will actually archive the job ad internally as well as on your career page as well, so that way if someone does go back to your career page, they try applying, it'll only then show that sales and service position instead of having all three. It will stay updated by whatever active ads that you have listed on your account. But perfect, that is really all that I had for the job the career page portion of today. So let's go ahead and dive into now some of that market research, right? And really diving into understanding what candidates are seeing when they're looking you up. So, for example, Trevor, you're going to look for a job, right?
Mhm.
You're on Indeed, you maybe found a position that works for you. What's going to be your next step on doing some research?
Yeah, so normally after I've applied to some place, I'm really not going to do a whole lot of research until after I've applied, quite frankly, and then I'll hear some stuff
Yeah.
back from, let's say I applied to 15 places, and then they start messaging me back. That's really when I'm doing my research. That's when I'm going to Google. That's when I'm going to Glassdoor, and I'm figuring out where my time is best spent because Ideal Traits will send people an assessment. Other employers will send other people things. So this is really where I'm like, okay, do I really want to spend 30 minutes to do this assessment? Well, let me go check real quick. I'm a timely person like everyone else is here, so that's very important to to me for just to research everything. So conversely, it's important for you as agents to ensure that you have something that is a presence at all. If you have no presence, that is a negative thing, and then you need to ensure that that presence is well spruced up, up to date. Quite frankly.
Definitely. And I think that these factors really do go into the to accountability as to what not only potential candidates can see, but also your customers can see as well, right? Especially if they're shopping around for business, the last thing that you want to do is have multiple negative reviews, maybe from some unhappy, displeasant previous employees that maybe left on a bad foot, right? Why let that be the determining factor if someone wants to continue to apply to your agency? Or if someone's shopping around for policies and maybe they see something about a service member on there, or how the service was absolutely awful, right? You do have a chance to at least, offer to defend yourself, not maybe not necessarily going into a keyboard war, right? But you can at least offer, to personally reach out to you, or if they would like to send an email to set up a time to discuss, right? That maybe this isn't exactly how the scenario went. There were a couple other factors, but I completely understand why you were upset. I would love for all of this to be resolved. Please feel free to call the office as we would love to chat. Will they? Probably not. However, when I am now going to take a look, you are then still being responsive, reaching out, addressing those negative things, as well as, thinking the good ones too. So this way, again, from a candidate's perspective, I now see, okay, this person is actually responsive. They took
Hmm.
that accountability. When I personally applied to the previous job I was at, I did see some negative reviews on there from people. And it was a cart importing place, so they were probably truckers, but still, the company took time out of their day to make sure that they addressed that, and again, by listing their phone number, the direct office line, so that way, if they did want to discuss this, they could. Now, to my knowledge, did they ever? I don't think so. But again, you're still putting yourself in the right sense on getting ahead of it. So that is really why conducting that research is going to be important, as well as conducting research on what market that you're in, right? And when I
Hmm.
say this, I'm going to talk about just maybe doing a quick search on Indeed, right? If you search up insurance sales representative or insurance customer service, right? if you go on there, just taking a look at your competition can give you a really good idea as to what market you're in. So this way you can then plan your hiring scheme around that, right? So this way you know that you should be maybe a little bit more active. You should maybe potentially sponsor it, right? I had one gentleman that was out in California and he had over 300 job ads that he was competing for with insurance sales. As you guys know, California is a big state, so that makes complete sense, right? But when you're competing with over 300 ads, that means that candidates also have over 300 opportunities to apply to jobs that are interesting to them. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you're standing out, that your salary is competitive. You can
Mhm.
easily select inside of there as well what salary selections that you want too. Now, Trevor, do you have any more recommendations in regards to like searching like their areas or doing any of that nature, just for overall conducting market research?
Well, normally I'm just going to stick with Indeed because they're the biggest player in the market as far
Yeah,
as where everyone's posting their job ads. That's where your time is going to be best spent, in my opinion. Really, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go with zip code. Type in a general job title. I'm not going to type in the exact thing. I'm not going to type in insurance sales superstar. I'm just going to type in insurance sales.
right,
But then, the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to look at the salary, and it's Indeed makes it really easy. They can filter salary, and they can show you exactly how many and where. So let's say there's 300 jobs in our area. You can click, and it'll show you, out of these 300, at least 150 of them pay $45,000 or more.
right.
So it's really easy to filter that. And then as far as benefits go, that's another thing that candidates are paying a lot of attention to. So, I would just make sure that you are, when you're doing this research, you're seeing what other candidate or I mean other, people, competitors are offering in benefits. Because, I'll tell you what, it can be something as small as, one thing like a 401k match, but that might be the reason why, they're going to Bill and Ted's agency down the road and not yours. And so,
Right.
I would definitely, the salary is very important, but matching the benefits and making sure that you're up to snuff with that's going to go a long ways into truly being competitive.
Definitely. And I think that this goes long term as well into making sure that you do have the best content out there, right? As we all
Hmm.
know, it's a very competitive market. I wish that we had the ability just to dump candidates into your account and make hiring that much easier. But the
Would be
tools that we
nice.
do have, oh yeah, definitely. But the tools that we do have really do help streamline that process, right? So this way you can easily make an effective ad. My question to you then would be, are you customizing that ad? Are you really adding more about your company culture inside of that so this way they understand? Are you answering all of the questions inside of that job ad that a candidate might have? Could one of your employees possibly read it and say, "Hey, do you have any questions on this position?" Now, maybe they might be a little bit biased, so maybe a friend or family member might be a little beneficial. But again, when they have those questions of reading that job ad, this is what then can deter them not only from applying but from finding a different opportunity that does answer that. I mean, I've seen ads that went through. We have amazing templates that really highlight what candidates can expect to make, but they left them as the X's. So like a base salary of X X X X X, right? So exactly, like if I personally saw that, I'm not getting that transparency that I'm looking for. It looked like maybe it was rushed through on creating it,
Hmm.
and I sense that. So let me go ahead and move on to the next ad that does clearly state that. Because again, at the end of the day, all of our clients do have access to those templates. So we want to make sure that we're being effective while using them as well. So between conducting that market research, right, being able to make sure that you do have competitive ads, as well as being able to share your career page to those areas, making sure everything is up to date. These are just some of the few tips and tricks that we had wanted to go over to make sure that you are streamlining that hiring process. Now, Trevor, is there anything else that you'd wanted to add in there? Just maybe a little knowledge or anything of that nature to ensure that they're being in the best hands?
I think it's important that whenever you're creating a job ad that you kind of mentioned a second ago, make sure they know about company culture. Um, you can put that in the job benefits and the description, but the saying more money, more problems. With us, it's more questions, more problems. If they don't know if there's something here, that's when they're gonna, as you said, they're gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna move on because
Right.
they don't want to waste their time. So they're gonna go, like something that we talk about a lot is, with salary transparency. If you post the base salary, whatever that range is versus, maybe the commissions, that's one more question answered. And now they're not
Right.
going to, compare it to the 40 other ads that are like yours that say salary of, 30 to 80,000. Now they can say, okay, this one, I know what it is. And now,
Right.
they can do a lot more with that information. So you can't give them too much information whenever it's just about the position. I wouldn't get into the nitty gritty details of what they're going to do, but if there's team lunches once a week, let them know. Put that in the benefits. If there's, a monthly team building activity, anything about your culture you can put in, that's how you're going to sell this position to someone.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, your uniqueness is what's going to make you stand out as well. And again, if there are things that you might be curious on, I would definitely recommend asking your current staff, right? Maybe to list the top 3 reasons why they love working with you. Okay, salary is great. Okay, great. Okay, I want to make sure that if that's some of the 3 reasons, right? Making sure that that's inside of the ad somewhere, whether again it's inside of that benefit section, inside of the job descriptions section, no matter where it's at, we just want to make sure that we're effectively going over this position so that way that they fully understand it. But perfect. Trevor, was there anything else that you had wanted to go over today or
No, I
chat
think
about?
I think I've said my spiel.
Perfect. Well, hey guys, I'll go ahead and open the chat to any questions that anyone may have about anything that we had discussed today. But I will also let you guys know as well that if you do have any questions about your account, if you want to go over personalities, if you want to go over some of the things that we further talked about today, maybe on a phone call, or you can even start a chat with us, you can easily select the help tab at the top of your ideal trait screen. From there, you can select the opportunity to visit our help center. Like I mentioned, if you do want more information just about anything that we already have articles about, or maybe some blog posts. We have tons of great information there. You can also start a chat with us so that way we can get your questions answered, as well as being able to schedule a call there as well. Trevor, he works on the support team as well as myself, so you can easily select his name or my name or the first available, whichever works for you.
Or my
And
name, more specifically.
more specifically Trevor's name. And we will get you taken care of. What I will say about the chat tree is just be sure that you get to the end of it. At the end of every single one, I believe, other than a system navigation refresher, we do have the opportunity to start with the live chat. Sometimes the questions are answered inside of there, so that's why we just make sure that we go through it. But if not, we'll get you taken care of via phone call as well. But that is all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for attending. Next week, it will be Faith, Nolan, and myself, and we will be going over our candidate engagement program, as well as our new video interview tool as well. So if you guys do want to get registered for that, you should be receiving marketing materials for tomorrow and Friday to get registered. But that is all I have for today. You will be receiving a recording of this after I finish it up, but I hope that you all enjoyed today. Thank you so much, Trevor, for joining. I love your input and your enthusiasm on this hiring journey that agents are going through. It really is just so beneficial to hear another side of it. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. And if you guys do have any further questions, feel free to reach out. But I hope that you have a lovely rest of your Wednesday. And as always, happy hiring. Take care, you guys.